viewers, welcome to this channel. Breaking news. Trøûble as Chicago University denies knowledge of certificate Tinubu submitted to Inec. See what U.S. court did after. The United States District Court for the Northern District of Illinois has delayed its decision on a subpoena application seeking Bola Tinubu's record from Chicago University CSU. This decision came shortly after the CSU, that is Chicago State University, denied knowledge of a certificate that the Nigerian president submitted to the country electoral commission INEC as part of its eligibility paperwork. In hearing before the judge Jeffrey Gilbert in Chicago, CSU lawyer of Michael Hales made it clear that the school couldn't authenticate Mr. Tinubu's certificate as either fake or genuine. This instance contradicted CSU's previous claim that they had issued a certificate to Tinubu after he graduated in 1979. Mr. Hayes stated, Is the diploma authentic or is it a forgery? My client can't answer yes to either of those questions. The lawyers went on to explain that CSU's administration would not be able to satisfy Tinubu's certificate under oath because they didn't know where it came from or how it was obtained. This uncertainty raised significant concern regarding the authenticity of the document Mr. Tinubu submitted to INEC in June 2022. Mr. Hayes acknowledged that CSU records indicate Tinubu attended the school, but admitted for several discrepancies that the administrator couldn't clarify under oath. This inconsistency included the date on Tinubu's certificate, which was June 22, 1977, as well as errors in typographical font and headers on documents. On June 17, 2022, Tinubu submitted a certificate to INEC reportedly issued in 1979 and signed by Daniel. However, Ms. Daniel only arrived at CSU in 1998, 19 years old after Tinubu was said to have graduated. She left school in 2008, 14 years before CSU issued yet another certificate in Tinubu's name in June 2022 under subpoena from a Nigerian lawyer. This contradiction and other concern prompted Atiku Abubakar, Mr. Tinubu's main challenger in February 23 presidential election, to file a lawsuit. The suit aimed to compel CSU to produce records related to Tinubu and make its top official available for disposition of authenticate the records. Alexandria Grammont, representing Mr. Abubakar in court, explained that this document and disposition were needed to use in Nigeria's Supreme Court, where the final battle over Mr. Tinubu's election was held in. The Nigerian Court of Appeal had heard Tinubu's election on September 6, but lacked CSU position on the certificate's authenticity. Mr. D. Grammont expressed the need to present his new evidence to Supreme Court from CSU, saying, "We already have them, the documents. What we are seeking What we are seeking is CSU's authentication or their explanation for some of the discrepancy. The deadline for Mr. Atiku Abubakar to appeal the Court of Appeal decision was set for September 20. Judge Gilbert noted that the court had historically granted similar requests under Section 1782, a status allowing the release of U.S.-based documents and evidence for use in foreign proceedings. Mr. Tinubu lawyers, represented via telephone conference by Christopher Carmichael, argued that Mr. Abubakar's efforts were fishing expedition and that CSU previous statements about Tinubu's graduation were sufficient. They contended that there was no need to produce further evidence or place CSU's official under oath to verify Tinubu's certificate. In response, Judge Gilbert decided to take additional time to consider the matter before issuing a ruling. He instructed all parties to view the records submitted and update them if necessary, with a date for final ruling and additional hearing to be communicated later. What a contradicting news. My listeners, looking at this, you get to know that Atiku might be right with the facts, like saying, because Atiku is still insisting based on this discrepancy and the issue on ground based on Mr. Tinubu going to Chicago State University. They are even finding it difficult to confirm a certificate so that he issued to Inec. So an article is saying that nothing like that is what is using against law. That how can the president be lying based on the certificate he issued, knowing fully well that it's not the right certificate? So Atiku is holding on that to Judge Tinubu. But Tinubu is still insisting. And Chicago is still saying, State University, Chicago, is still saying they are still finding it difficult to identify it. That the person that gave Tinubu certificate